So Gordon, I feel like there's a lot of lovely abundance in your work. It's full of joy, full of colour, different forms, but you somehow bring it all together.
I don't know quite how it all comes together, because it's a wee journey that I go on, and it's like, for instance, this one, I could be working on it for the next half hour or an hour, and it'll either work or I'll get bored with it and I'll put it aside and I'll start on something else. At the moment I'm quite happy with it. But as far as the abundance of colour and what have you, I don't compose it, it just kind of happens. So we'll see how this one goes. My perspective is very, I can only describe it as being very childlike. Mm-hmm. So my perspective is very much of when you were a kid, you used to sit down in the field and look through the flowers. So you're looking through the flowers to the distance. Do you know
it's
what I
funny
mean?
you say that, because I was looking at your paintings yesterday and I was thinking, there are some landscape artists where your eyes led in gently through a path and then you go towards the horizon or through some fields. But with your work, it's like you're right in there already.
You're in there already.
And that
you're down amongst it.
Yeah.
And I have this picture in my head when I used to live in Wishaw, and we lived in the country, and sitting down in a field in the summer. You're far too young. We had hot summers in the 70s.
I don't want that.
Yeah, we did actually, to be fair. And I remember sitting in that feeling of there was not a worry you never had a worry in the world, and there were all the flowers, and looking through, and there was the Mr. Barr's farm. There's literally a farm right ahead of me, and that's probably where it all comes from, because that's what I see. The flowers will change, and the season will change, but generally that's the view, and I can see myself. I'm there now.
You're in that position.
Yeah, I'm in that position. Yeah. I'm looking up, and I'm excited. Do you know what I mean? I'm excited about that. You're trying to replicate something in nature that it's impossible to do, really. This is my interpretation. So I know something in here will say, that you've managed it. Then again, I could go, this is fantastic, I'm really pleased with that. Go home, come back the next day and go, oh, why was I so happy with that? So it's a case of it's trial and error, I think. And then the question I get asked a lot is, how do you know when a painting's finished? And the thing is, I can work and work and work, and you think, I love it the way it is, I'm just going to leave it. And then you come back in the next day and think, what was I thinking of? But there's something in your heart that will say, no, that you've come to the end of this. This is as much as you want to do.
And it's just a feeling, you just get.
It's a feeling, yeah. It's a feeling. Sometimes it's a euphoric kind of like, oh yeah. And other times you think, have I, haven't I? But it's a case of going away and coming back. I'm forever wandering over there and looking from afar to see if it's working. And I know some lazy artists, what they'll do is they'll have a mirror there and a mirror at the back of the room so they can kind of look and see. But I tend to just wander off. I'll go and have a walk and come back and see how it's going. And instinctive. It's an instinctive thing if you know if it's working or not. People say, oh, what are you painting just now? I say, oh, I'm really enjoying doing this, or I'm really enjoying doing that. And they say, oh, but why aren't you doing this? I say, because I don't want to do that. This is what I want to do. Yeah. I'm not painting that thinking about somebody buying it. I'm painting it because I want to paint it. And I want, when someone does eventually see it in an exhibition or a gallery, to say, that's a nice painting. Yeah. He's meant something when he did it.
And to feel some of that energy.
Yeah, to feel some of that energy. And hopefully fall in love with it and have it on the wall. But I don't want to, I never want anyone to think that I'm just going through the motions. Do you know what I mean? I'd never want to be. That's why I change. Because if I'm doing a landscape and I get a bit fed up and bored, well, I don't want to put that in a frame. I want people to look at my work and go, he's passionate about that. So that's why I'll move from the landscape to something else.
So you're only working when you're in a really positive, passionate
absolutely.
Sort of frame of mind.
God, that's the only way to work, because if you don't, then you're just going to paint rubbish. So
how does it feel knowing that somebody's bought your work? Do you ever think about where paintings have ended up? Or?
It's the most wonderful thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I'm commissioned, I'm working to somebody's, the beat of their drum, if you like, and I'm happy to do that, although you feel constrained. But the feeling of selling a painting, that euphoric feeling you get from when you sell a painting, that never leaves. I always get a thrill when a gallery says, you've contacted me and say, oh, we sold a painting. That it fills you with a great feeling of joy. And of course the world's a terribly small place now because of social media and what have you. So paintings, they literally go all over the place. So you suddenly get emails from people in a weekly appeal, because it only takes one person. So you get someone in New York, say, buying a painting, and then their neighbour buys one, and then their friend buys one, and all of a sudden all these people, and yet you'll get someone who lives up the road who comes in and goes, oh, how long have you been here, son? So it's a really weird one. And people in America and Russia and it's really bonkers. A lot in Europe and Australia, and these are people that have bought on from a little photograph online
on a website,
it's on a gallery website. But it's nice to know you can say, oh yeah, I've got a client in Guatemala.
You really are an international artist.
It's international artist in the true sense of the word. But the world is a very small place.
I was going to ask a bit about your storytelling, because some of your work seems to tell more of a story than others. Perhaps some of the more figurative work. How does that all emerge?
Well, there's a narrative. I mean, I've been doing a lot of old ladies, old biddies on boats and things now. I literally that woman exists, right? And she was a woman I bumped into in Braehead shopping centre, and it was summer, right? It was a hot day, and I wasn't quite in shorts and t-shirt, but it was a light clothing day, and there was this old lady, literally headscarf, the long coat, and I thought I got to take a wee photo, and I know I shouldn't, but I took a wee photo of her, and she's been my muse. But she reminded me of all my mum. My mum came from a large family of sisters, and she had a brother and lots of sisters, and all getting together, all chatty, and I never knew my grandparents because my mum was 40 when she had me, so my grandparents died when I was young, so I never really knew any. So it was kind of my homage to sort of do this old lady. She was my grandmother, if you like, and I was sending her off on little journeys. So that's kind of where she came from. And the Belted Gallery, people always ask me about the Belted Galleries, which I do, and that's a weird one because I was actually I was driving up the Carse Road, Stockymuir Road, sorry, going out to Killarn, and I saw a Belted Gallery on its own in the field, just on its own, and I thought, bloody hell, and it was set against Dumgoyne, which is the local hill, and I thought, wow. So I stopped and took a photo of, and people don't know these things exist because they're sort of these striking cattle with the white stripe, black cattle with a white stripe down. So I stopped, and I everywhere I go, I take a wee. I'm not proud of this, but I take a man bag, and in it's got my sketchbook and my camera and stuff, and I took lots of photos and did a few sketches. So that's why I was doing the single Belted Gallery, and lo and behold, it turns out it's a farmer who kept it as a pet. I know. What's all that about? So I think.
Does he have one of your paintings?
Funnily enough, he does. He does. Yeah, he does actually. Bless him.
But isn't it wonderful the way that your paintings or another art, that they actually reach out and touch people? Isn't that there's something magical about that process?
Completely.
And that as working in a gallery, it is really wonderful to witness.
People forget that I buy art as well, and a painting that will speak to me.
Literally speak
to you,
yeah.
and as I always say, it gets me here, and it's something that is giving you pleasure daily. And obviously there's a financial outlay, but it's a financial outlay that will, in time, it's paying for itself.
Yeah.
The joy
bringing
that you
you
get,
joy,
it's bringing me joy, and I can still sit with a glass of wine and look at paintings that I bought 20 years, maybe not 30, 25 years ago, because we all started with the tennis player scratching our arse, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you think, no, I don't want a Lamborghini Countach on my wall, I want a piece of art. So you buy your first piece of art, and then it sort of snowballs. And you can tell a wee story. Every painting has that story, and I like to think that every painting that I do is the same thing, and because it's a moment in the person it's a moment in my time, but it's a moment at the buyer's time, where they were, at what stage they were, what it reminded them of, and of course paintings are bought by people who are having birthdays, or it's a present for somebody, or it's a legacy. So it's a memory of someone, or a memory of someone that's died. I mean, I've had people in tears buying a painting because it's it's money that's come from someone, and it's reminding them.
It's very personal.
It's so personal, and I'm delighted to be part of that.